the America First president who said he would end foreign wars to put America first and focus on America's working class. Instead, now he says, quote, "It's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, or Medicare." Now he says all we can afford is war.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So if there's one candidate that's running for office right now that I think has the best chance of winning the Senate seat, as well as moving on and potentially winning the presidency in 2028, it's Jon Ossoff. So we're going to take a look at some of the polling. We're going to talk a little bit about Jon Ossoff because if you want to call him the most improved candidate since the last time that he ran, Jon Ossoff is doing an excellent job in his speeches, in his campaign. I think he's a solid candidate for the Senate, and he would be a solid candidate for the presidency. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this. So let's take a look at the latest polling, and this is coming from 270 to win. We're going to take a look at the InsiderAdvantage. This was posted on 8/18/2026. You have 800 likely voters. You have the margin of error plus or minus 3.5%. So you have sample size is okay. Likely voters is good. Margin of error 3.5%. Not too bad. 3% is better, but 3.5 is okay. You have Ossoff at 50%. You have Collins at 43%. You have other at 7%. And so this is still within that margin of error. I mean, if you want, 7 is the margin of error, okay? So 7 is the lead here. So if we're looking at a scenario, let's say a scenario where Ossoff is not really at 50%, Ossoff's really at 46.5, and then Collins is not really at 43%. Collins is at 46.5. So you see it falls right in the middle there. But what we can see here, if you look at all of the latest polls, you see all of this blue. And all of this blue means that you have Ossoff either in the lead in the poll or tied in the poll. There's only one poll that's showing Collins tied, and that's it. You don't see polls showing Collins ahead. And so the Collins campaign needs to be very concerned because they're not showing any lead in any of the polls. And then when we look at the prediction market, it gets even worse. So looking at the prediction market, Kalshi, Georgia Senate winner, Jon Ossoff, 92%. Okay, we're talking probability here, but 92% is pretty much a shoo-in, right? Collins at 8%. And so if we had an election held today, Jon Ossoff would win. Now, let's take a look at the Senate map because when it comes to Jon Ossoff, he needs to win. Democrats need to win in Georgia. They need to win in Michigan. They need to win in New Hampshire. They have to defend those states. If they lose any of those states, it's going to be much harder for them to take control of the Senate. And so it's very important that Ossoff perform well, and he's performing well. He's fundraising. He's doing all the things that a good candidate would do. Not only is he doing that, but Democrats are now looking at Ossoff as a potential candidate for the presidency in 2028. And I think at this point, if you were to ask me, just looking at the candidates that have been talking about potentially running for president, I think Jon Ossoff is the best candidate. I'm going to show you a clip of him just speaking, okay? Listen to how he speaks. He speaks much like Obama spoke. And Obama is a great speaker. When you are running for president, you need to be able to inspire people, energize people to get out and vote. I think Ossoff has what it takes to do that. You even see Ossoff with the badging that they're using now with the O, like Obama. We're seeing him use the same styling that Obama used. Listen to him when he's speaking. He's talking, he's pausing, he's getting that interaction from the audience, the same thing that Obama did. That's not easy to do, and he makes it look easy. It's just like he's, in a room with 5 people, and he's just talking to those 5 people, but he's talking to thousands of people.
This president promised a golden age. Instead, the economy's lost tens of thousands of manufacturing jobs since he launched the big illegal tariffs, and more Americans are falling behind on their credit cards than any time since the Great Recession. Inflation's higher than when Trump took office. Unemployment's higher than when Trump took office, and consumer sentiment's at its worst in 70 years. The president promised to fight for the working class and end foreign wars. Instead, he cut your health care to give the rich another tax break, and last week, yet more Americans were wounded in a war no one voted for and no one can explain. This war in Iran is the worst foreign policy blunder since Iraq. And just like the Iraq War, it's a war built on lies. Let's just update the record. On day one of the war, day one, the president said it was running ahead of schedule. On day 10, he said it was very complete. Day 21, getting very close. Day 32, leaving very soon. On day 39, the President of the United States said a whole civilization will die tonight. And on the next day, day 40, he declared total and complete victory. Day 67, great progress. Day 79, the clock is ticking. Today is day 92. And on day 92, Iran's ballistic missiles and drones have not been destroyed. The Strait of Hormuz, which was open before the war, is still closed. The regime is intact, along with its stockpile of highly enriched uranium. A stockpile Iran only built after President Trump shredded President Obama's Iran deal. You remember that? Just weeks into this war, they said they'd need $200 billion to fund it. Let me put that in perspective for you. $200 billion would fund a decade, 10 full years of nationwide universal pre-kindergarten. The America First president who said he would end foreign wars to put America first and focus on America's working class. Instead, now he says, quote, it's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, or Medicare. Now he says all we can afford is war. Now he demands we cut cancer and Alzheimer's research to throw even more money at Pete Hegseth's Pentagon. While the Financial Times reports, quote, Pete Hegseth's broker looked to buy defense fund before Iran attack. Y'all remember they promised to drain the swamp? Instead, this is the most corrupt administration of all time, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
And so what do you guys think? Do you see what I'm talking about when it comes to how his delivery is very good? Very good. And the pauses and the interaction, all of that stuff is really, really good. And when you think about, on the Democratic side, and even on the Republican side, when you think about a candidate for president in 2028, is there another candidate right now, either Democrat or Republican, that's able to deliver a speech like that? Is there another candidate? I can't. Marco Rubio, no. J.D. Vance, no. AOC, no. Newsom, no. I can't think of another candidate that can deliver that speech the way that he delivered that speech and talk to the audience the way that he talked to the audience. The only other person that could do that is Obama, in my opinion. And then one more thing. The fact that he is a senator out of Georgia, he's shown that he can win in the South. Democrats, that's very important that they win in the South. Over the years, Democrats running for president have struggled in the South. And so if he can pick up a few states in the South, pick up Georgia, pick up another couple of states, maybe a North Carolina, some other states, maybe even a Texas, that is even more of a reason why people really should strongly be looking at Jon Ossoff to run for president and potentially become the next president in 2028. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the polling right now. Yes, it looks good when it comes to Georgia for Jon Ossoff to go ahead and defend Georgia. And then as we stated, Democrats need to defend Michigan. They need to defend New Hampshire, and then they need to win. They need to pick up at least 4 seats. So if we're looking at Democrats and independents at 47 or Republicans at 53, Democrats' best chance at this point to pick up seats is going to come in North Carolina, it's going to come in Maine, it's going to come in Alaska, and then it'll be either Ohio or Texas or both. I think both of them are about at the same caliber. I think Right now, Sherrod Brown is showing good numbers in Ohio when it comes to polling. So if we saw a scenario like that, Democrats and independents would be at 51, Republicans would be at 49. Democrats would take back control of the Senate. Even if we saw a scenario where, let's say, Houston won in Ohio, I think Democrats have an equal chance of winning in Texas. So even if they lost Ohio, but they won in Texas, then you would have Democrats at 51 and you would have Republicans at 49, and Democrats would still maintain control of the Senate. And then when it comes to Iowa, Iowa's going to be a close race as well. I wouldn't say it's as close as Ohio and Texas, but there's still a possibility that Democrats can pull it out in Ohio. So I want to know what you guys think about all this. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Democrats have a real shot at taking back the Senate? And what do you think about Jon Ossoff running for president in 2028? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.